Statistically speaking, 100% of women married to men in this room tonight have contemplated killing their husbands. I know this is true because even if you're in this room and you hadn't thought about it yet, I just mentioned it, and every time I see my married friends, they tell me a 20-minute long story about how their incompetent toddler brain husband has ruined their life that week. And then they turn to me, and with a look of extreme concern, they say, "Have you started seeing anyone yet?" Like, Jesus, bitch, I know misery loves company, but no. I haven't applied to the adult foster program yet. And the truth is, I just hate dating. I do. Mainly because I find men deeply disappointing. But also because I would rather do anything else on a Wednesday night than find out how many siblings a stranger has. I also have an extremely long list of requirements that you must meet in order for me to even consider dating you. They include, but they are certainly not limited to, your eyes must be appropriately spaced on your head. You must not offer me unsolicited stock market advice. You must not require any level of fixing. You must not have broken up with your girlfriend on the way to this date. And you must not then, in turn, cry when I break up with you on this date. And you must not be extremely passionate about horses. Should someone decide to hurl themselves through this obstacle course and make it to the other side, somehow not becoming a new requirement themselves, they are handed a golden trophy of my face. And on this trophy, inscribed in very fine print at the bottom, next to the claw marks of my ex-boyfriends, it reads, "She has crippling OCD, she's riddled with indecision, and she has the emotional availability of a carrot." But the truth is, guys, I want to get married. I think. And I want kids. I'm like pretty sure. I am a little concerned that I just am extremely passionate about one day being Santa. But I'm trying to figure it out with my therapist, and I actually have a very long history of self-improvement. After college, I entered a recovery program. Some of you may be familiar. It was pretty popular. It's the FBRP. It's the Frat Boy Recovery Program. Yeah. I was a frat star, little bitty. But I needed a detox, and I needed a break from the natty lights and the button-downs and the visors and the loafers and the Rush t-shirts and the overly involved mothers and the Adderall addictions. So I entered the FBRP, and I actually entered the intensive program, and this is where you go from dating a Southern boy with a questionable dating record. And you begin immediately and exclusively dating only Northern dudes with 2 full sleeves and a chain. The chain is usually a cross or like a pendant with a saint on it or something. Their mom gave it to them at their first communion, and they've never taken it off, even though that was the last time they went to Mass. You do have to pay a little bit more for this intensive program, and I was right out of college, but luckily they took all forms of payment, including all of my self-respect, and a signed affidavit saying that I would say I was open when someone suggested moving to Philadelphia. On my first date with my tattooed, chain-wearing, bodybuilding New Jerseyan, he asked me about my job. I'm a nurse, and I work with 2 surgeons, and I had recently gotten a promotion. Thank you so much. He asked me if one day I was hoping to be promoted to surgeon. Concerned, I offered him an analogy I thought he might understand. And I said, hey, listen, imagine you're on a flight, right? And the flight attendant comes on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, your pilot couldn't make it in tonight. But great news, I've recently received a promotion. And I am going to fly the plane for you. Now, I've never done it myself, but I've seen it done a lot. And I know a lot about planes. So as soon as we get to cruising altitude, I'll be around beverage service and a credit card offering. But in the meantime, just sit back, relax, and I'll have you to Milwaukee in no time. Okay? He seemed more okay with this scenario than anyone should be. So I just tossed in the towel and I said, no, I'm not hoping to be promoted to surgeon. And this motherfucker then mansplained hopes and dreams to me. I dated him longer than I should have. The tattoos really did it for me. But ultimately, I got tired of pretending to give a shit about hockey and waking up early in the morning to drive really far away to get the good bagels and having every episode of Joe Rogan explained to me at nauseating detail. But mainly, I just got really tired of getting hit in the face with St. Patrick. You know? Yeah. So I entered the EIP. That's the European Immersion Program. It's one of the many programs out there that are trying to get you over dating Americans. I thought maybe that was the problem. And honestly, I thought this was going to be something quick, you know, like an uncircumcised summer. But it slid right into a foreskin fall. Yeah. European men compared to American men are extremely industrious. The first man I dated in the EIP built a pool in his backyard by hand, which he then heated with hot water, piped in, underground, from a wood-burning stove, which he also built by hand. The most impressive thing I've ever seen in an American man's house are matching side tables, a headboard, and sheets that aren't navy. I did a lot of things by that pool that summer just to honor the time, energy, and effort that went into it. But European men and American men still have one extremely disturbing thing in common. They are still men. So I've recently been applying to the PRP, and that is the Penis Recovery Program. It is extremely competitive to get into, as you might imagine, and my application keeps getting denied. It just keeps coming back with this big stamp on it that says PP, and I thought that was a good thing for a second, but that just means prefers penis, which is true. So I've resorted to something that we as Americans have come to know and love, and it's extremely dependable and very effective. Thoughts and prayers. Mm-hmm. And so every night before I go to bed, I send up 2 wishes to the universe. To wake up a lesbian and to wake up a witch. But every morning, I am horrified to learn that I am still just a heterosexual bitch. Thanks so much. You guys have been great. I'm Carol Tyner.